Alright, folks, we're back at it. And we'll go ahead and switch over to this scene and hopefully have very few, compared to yesterday, weird screw-ups with me having to do this as a display capture. Thanks a lot, OBS. So I didn't get a chance to explain a lot of this stuff last time. Well, let me pick all this stuff up. We get a pretty decent amount of things for logging in for 2 days total. And we get our reward for our second day of consecutive login. Pick all that stuff up. And of course, pick up our bone. The other items are kind of useful, but I'd rather take the thing I know I'm going to need more of, probably. So some things I didn't get a chance to explain here. Well, aside from the fact that we can't access this at all because we have to complete the entire first arc, I think is what this is locked behind, which is kind of unfortunate, but I understand why. And we can go back to previous locations in order to do those side quests. Obviously, if they locked you out of those entirely, that would kind of suck. We haven't had a look at this section over here yet, which... Oh, well, it's going to explain this to us, that this is useful for helping us level grind. And also, we have these available, which will change up what abilities we can use. We will worry about these much later because, as you can see from this cost here, these cost 40 to start. And because our max AP is much lower than that, we're not allowed to take them at all. Bit of a strange way to do it, but I kind of understand. We would not be able to handle these at this point, even with really good supports. You'll see that there are 60 daily quests now. There are usually... Well, alright, calm down with this thing here. It's vaguely helpful, though, that it does give you a nice chart of when things happen. This is something to keep in mind, I guess. So, for a little while, and by a little while, I apparently mean the next half hour or so, all of the quests for all classes that are available through most of the week are available at the same time. And after that, it will revert to the usual one per day. This was to help prepare for the recent event, but obviously we didn't take any of those. And for completing each of these quests on any given day, you get these green cube things, which are called mana prisms, if I remember correctly. They're how you pick up items in-game in the shop. So that's something we'll probably do later, but not on stream, because I am trying to keep the amount of repeated content to a minimum, because otherwise this game does get kind of repetitious anyway. I mean, first of all, it is an RPG, and I say this as somebody who really loves a lot of RPGs, but also it is a mobile game, and there's a little bit of that that just ends up getting baked into the proceedings anyway. But what can we do with these green cubes? Well, let's have a look in here, and we get talked at a little bit more. The game is gonna sort of explain this stuff to us, vaguely. So, we can also sell stuff that we don't need. We're not really going to do that a whole lot. At least not for now. Later on, it's going to be a big deal. Why did I lock that experience card? That's a little weird. Oh well, I fixed it now. Alright, so over here, first entry, exchange mana prisms. This is all the stuff that we can get for the moment for these green cubes. These reset on a monthly basis, except for these alternate costumes, which I think are just completely permanent. And hello there, how are you doing? I'm glad I have a viewer. So, unfortunately, we're probably not going to be able to get any of these for this month, unless I just do a lot of off-screen grinding. And, in fact, even then, I may be a little bit, butting into it on this account. So we're probably not going to think about these a whole lot. Rare prisms, this is something we don't have yet. And, yeah, as it explains, you get these for recycling your 4-star or higher servants. We will probably not get a lot of those. I'm sitting at like 1,500 or something over on my main. Obviously over here, I don't have that though. I don't have any rare prisms on my main either, because I haven't gotten rid of any of my higher level characters. But we can get a look at some of this stuff. So, you can purchase this. We can purchase a few craft essences here. We can put a few of them up for unlocking. There's a couple of these trial quests for various characters that you usually only get to play the first time they show up, but if you trade for them, you can do them again. And they give you things. I don't remember what. Not great at this sometimes. And also, all the way back at the top, these 3 things are some of the more important things to give at least vague consideration to. We're not really going to be in a position to pick these up for a while. And even these are not going to be a huge deal for a long time for us. But these 4-star stat up cards give very small boosts. I think it's plus 20 as opposed to the up to plus 50 that you can get with others. But you can only use them on characters that have up to 1,000 of those bonus points already. And you can't push them above 1,000 with any of the 3-star or lower. I tend to pick up the experience cards anyway, just because I usually have a lot of characters that I don't have leveled up yet. And increasingly, I'm realizing that it is a good idea to do that a lot. And this last item over here, this crystallized lore, is used to level a skill up to level 10 from level 9. So again, we don't got to think about that for a long time, but those are going to be important. We're going to want to pick those up if we can from various sources. There are much easier ways to get all 3 of these. Usually you can get them from events. Close out, and I didn't mention this last time because I just forgot, but every day starting at 6 p.m. local time, I'm in the Central Time Zone, CST. Starting at 6 p.m., when inside that 24-hour period, you can do 1 free 10-part friend point draw for free. So that is a very nice thing to get a little bit of extra stuff. I haven't had a chance to try out Inshun yet, but I've heard that he's pretty good with the right team. I wish that I was in a good position to set him up to just go solo and see if I can get him to do anything really hilarious that way. In the future, I'll give it a shot and see what happens. But also, I did my free roll earlier, and I didn't get a whole lot, although let me go ahead and no, I wanted to show this game. Come on. The biggest thing that I got is I got a second copy of Julius Caesar here, which lets us give him another NP level. So he'll probably be in a pretty good position to fight if we need somebody to take on Lancer enemies. I also got Asterios, who is our first 1-star servant. Is he our first? Yeah, he is our first, which is kind of surprising. And he's our first bronze tier berserker. He's very, very odd in how he operates, is all I will say. We'll put him on the back row because I'll probably end up using Asterios at least a little bit in the future. But for now, we're gonna remember to hit OK on that and get ourselves back into the main game here. Next to chapter 1, which we just started yesterday. Alright, section 2. What are we looking at here? Well, alright, so our best bet would be archers, but we still are completely without those. So again, we'll take the obvious here in terms of our support. And again, I will just confirm I have no archer at this point whatsoever. And away we shall go. Oh, phone call. Yeah, that's not a great place to be. I am incredibly glad for the fact that my main actually drew a decent number of archers. I've got some pretty good ones in there. I don't even have the good 1-star archer. That's the one that everybody uses, who is Arash, who we will hopefully meet in the future before we meet him in story. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and go through this plot. I'm gonna try not to get too distracted. Mosh, you have to speak French the whole time. But if it worked, it worked. No? Oh. Oh boy. That's, well, we already... That's like nothing new to us because we had that whole plot dump earlier. And just sort of go, incoming. A hat but metal. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with their helmets there, Tev. How's it going? Lee, you got some very... Oh, wait, no, you're talking about Saber, not Caster. I was gonna be like, that's some weird draws. Saber Jita Ray is a very, very odd character who I've never had a good chance to use. I may give him a shot if I manage to pick up enough copies of him and can figure out how to negotiate his funky skill set. But again, that kind of depends on what my luck is. We'll have to see in the future. For now, we're going to sit here and have a loading screen and encounter more metal hat men, I'm sure. Oh, no, it's skeletons. Alright. Their dodge is ready. And this should be quite simple. On the other hand, we don't have a way to switch to a third target, but we don't need to right now. We're not dealing enough damage there. Get him. Alright. And then back here we've got archers. Oh no, just the one and then 2 other sabers. I was gonna be like, hey, I could have been, yeah. Let's deal with these. Blue Boo is another one that I haven't actually used, but that's more out of, like, I haven't gotten around to it than anything. I know that he's really good for just... You know what, let's go ahead and show off this big lizard man's big attack here. Just to demonstrate a little bit of stuff. Man, he does a lot of hits. Blue Boo is very good for just blowing people up, basically. He's strong. And yet, for some reason, I didn't really level him on my main. Again, I'll get to it one day. Looks at all of these characters I have sitting over there that I haven't done yet. Looks at level 100 Kiara, looks at level 100 Phantom. I may have an issue. I have very bad priorities. Alright, so this next one, we're getting a much clearer enemy here. I'll pull out Berserker of Eldorado just as a change here. And do we have assassins at all in this party? Do actually. I have a couple of them. I should actually probably be leveling up Kojiro, who I'm going to... I'll go ahead and back out here. Switch to feeding characters some experience. Alright, here you go, Purple Man. Let's give you these. And that'll get you in a nice shape here. Alright. Do this again and switch you out for him. And with a like an all quick based deck, I know what we're giving him as a card here. Yeah, that is like the big thing, is that the card rarities are not as big of a deal. As somebody was saying yesterday, like, this is reminiscent of a card game. In some ways, that's kind of another card game-like thing. Because I play Magic a lot. Still do. I don't really pick up a whole lot of cards anymore from, like, packs or anything. Not like I used to do. But a lot of stuff that's more important actually tends to be a lot more on the common end of things. So... yeah, again, there's another similarity for you. And there he is, Metal Hat Man. Alright, what do you got? What do you got for us? Soldier is going to tell us some plot stuff that... excuse me. That are indeed things we know about already. And in fact, this guy is like not whistling Dixie about a lot of things, because we're getting interrupted, but also who we're going to be fighting, Jeanne d'Arc Alter, usually is an Avenger class, but that wasn't introduced in the game at the time. So her art is completely different, and she is of the ruler class, so we're gonna have a kind of ugly time once we get there, probably. But again, we will get a chance to see how that hashes out. Oh, hello. That's Is that the person you were? Oh, apparently she is a servant. We'll find out more about her in a moment, but I'm pretty sure we already know who that is, considering we saw the things that we did at the beginning of the chapter. It's not so much that this game likes to hide information, obviously. It's just that there is so much to put forward. There's quite a lot of intense world building here, to say the least. Alright, so we've got a single wyvern here. I'm gonna throw this up on our guy just to make sure that he doesn't get wrecked. And I'm gonna let... Can I select my cards properly, please? I'm gonna try to let Kojiro have a turn here instead of just letting Penthesilea over there just completely demolish this thing. Oh no, I spoiled the character's name. I'd probably be a little more tight-lipped about that if we were in, like, the main franchise where just knowing characters by their title was more normal. But the roughly 10 characters that are known just by title and location is a quirk of a very few chunks of story that we're not going to get to for what is probably going to be a couple of months, actually. Especially since I do fully intend to mix up my streaming a little bit with switching this off with other games. But again, we'll see how that all pans out, because I'm not always great at planning here. Gosh dang it, Doctor. Bulbs for sweaty mom spaghetti. God. Oh no. I can't even be upset about that because honestly, making dumb jokes is just like entirely the... Oh, she's sad. The jokes is the actual lore of this series, so you know what? Go with it. There we go. Jeanne d'Arc, the ruler. At the time, the only ruler class servant in the series. She was in Fate Zero, I think it was. It was supposed to be a little bit abnormal, to say the least, but since then, there's like 10 in this game, I think, now. There's more than 5. I'll put it that way. All right. Come on, nerd. I haven't tried her out yet, but perhaps unsurprisingly, my go-to is definitely gonna be Herc. I'm very much thinking that I'll be picking up Heracles with that trade-in ticket, which I haven't used yet. There's a couple of other options. I may actually just take a moment to review my options after a couple more chapters. Once we do some more work here and, you know, show off some more plot. Alright, what do we got for us? Alright, switching back over here. Q alter. Yeah, sure, by all means, we'll put Kojiro back in the front row here. Let him continue to lead the charge. Let him continue to be the savior of France, as the meme goes. I'm surprised that hasn't been, like, a bigger meme in the series. At least inside of like the actual game or anything, especially in the events. The events are full of a lot of meme shit, and we will see that as we get deeper into some of them. Although, again, I don't know how many I'm going to get to show off this time without swapping my main over to the emulator, because if I remember correctly, most of this year's events are locked by most of the story. Alright. So again, we've got some more pretty simple fights here. Due to the surprise of absolutely nobody. I'm actually gonna let as many people as possible here get hits to try and get some more crits. Yeah, since both of them have, like, really good star generating ability, right? You're definitely, like, looking forward if you're thinking that much about crit generation and quick characters in general, because I forget when she comes out, but somebody is going to be really good for those purposes. Again, we're gonna let more of the party participate here, because we get ourselves some nice easy fights. I'd say let them feel better, but that doesn't have any effect whatsoever on bond points. It makes me feel like I'm slightly justified in having a full party here. Ah, okay. Alright. Hello there, Zephy. I'm squinting a little bit because I don't have my Twitch chat popped up. I should probably fix that. And also, the little chat box over there is a little small on my end. It's probably about the same size on your guys' end, especially if you're not watching full screen. Let's see what we've got over in this quest. More of the same, but we get to try out Joan over here as our guest servant for the Singularity for now. And we'll get to see just how support-oriented she is compared to everybody else. And this'll be a little bit tougher on us, I'm sure, but we'll pull through. We'll pull through. Yeah, I'm sorry it ended up being so small. I'll see what I can do to make it work better. But I did have a problem where if I dropped the resolution too much, the usernames got really, really small. And by really, really small, I mean the amount of space to display them was not good for the text size. I should see if there's like a better chat renderer out there for that. But in due time, in due time. Get ourselves involved with the plot here. And don't worry, we can settle down for like 5 minutes, folks. For the fact that we're probably gonna get ambushed by another dragon. At the very least, Jean does seem to know a little bit about what's going on here. Which is, again, what you would kind of expect to be happening in a situation like this, especially for anybody who's more knowledgeable about the rest of the series. Blah, blah, blah. The characters know what they get involved in, or have been gotten involved in, rather. Can't reveal their true names anymore. Oh, that's a pretty nice get. I think I'm going to be saving my stuff for a little bit. A little bit basically being until the Kara no Kyokai event to try and get a little more on Void Shiki. Because she's been really good for me. I got her a while back and yeah. Alright, so we're doing one of these things where the player knows a bunch of stuff that the characters don't, and it's a little odd to keep up with, but that's alright. Should be examples of simultaneous summons. Yeah, we already know about that. Yeah, I think that the way a lot of, like, anything that I'm saving up for in terms of anything after the Kara no Kyokai event will probably be Skehakskati. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name properly, so excuse me. I'm very bad at both of those languages. And then Arjuna Alter, who looks to be completely busted, is my understanding. But again, that's like over a year out after that, so that's really nice. I can accumulate a nice stock. I mean, there's a lot of options there. But I'm guessing you... God, my immediate thought is like, oh, right, do you not have Ryder Kintoki? Ryder Kintaki? He would be, I mean, I'm basically just kind of surprised if you do have him that he's not up there. I'm literally just trying to remember who, like, most of the characters are who show up in that arc. And I'd like to apologize to anybody who's, like, waiting for me to say things about the plot. I'm getting a little tied up in this now. Great. Trust no one, not even yourself. And especially, don't trust the person who does the grammar on this. I can just imagine Around the Wheel having fucking fits about this. Around the Wheel being a YouTuber that I watched for a while, and he is actually back now. I should probably... I very well might, at the end of this stream, drop a link to his YouTube channel. He is a very entertaining guy most of the time. And I am getting my hair all tied up and... yeah. Oh, don't worry, I don't believe that a lot of the story is being that heavily paid attention to. I would, again, completely not, you know... Jesus, words. Smooth orchard. That's a phrase. I'm just gonna throw that at him and see if he says anything at me. Yes, there is a lot of story. It's just that... It's just that it's very easy to get sidetracked from the story. Okay, let's not bring up Da Vinci again because, as I said, I was a little uncomfortable with how that was presented last time. And thinking, wow, our cast can be really shitty people to somebody sometimes. But, you know, we're gonna ignore that and just keep passing through this storyline and, we're gonna end up getting into a fight with some kind of dragon in a few minutes. And hear a, yeah, there's... The story quality... The story quality varies, we'll put it that way. We're going to see some really great and some unbelievably bad stuff as we go through this game. So be ready for that if you love trash and also treasure. Alright. We've got some skellies. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I already called this game out for killing somebody as they were getting a plot arc, as you probably noticed last time. Yes, it started off as a very much not safe for work visual novel. And it has since changed quite a bit, because as you can see, I would still not play this at work, but it's not really full of anything that is inappropriate for ages below 13-ish. 13-ish. I mean, let's be honest, age ratings are kind of RNG. Yeah, they started doing more expurgated adaptations of the series as time went on. The anime version of Fate Stay Night is, again, as far as I know, very much lacking in that kind of stuff, but obviously the original visual novel was definitely full of things you should not show your family. That's kind of what I've been led to understand from the descriptions, that it was a little overkill in some departments there. Which other family anime? That's a good question. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge. But there are some people out there, to be fair. Why would you let your family know that you're a complete filthy weeb? That's a good question. Oh, he didn't get the kill there. That's unfortunate, but we've got this now. You're here to judge. Well, thank you for taking the burden off of me. Is this my first run through? No, this is not my first playthrough. Although, saying that, I haven't finished the storyline on my main account, and so I just decided to start doing this mostly on the back of there being some interest about it with at least one group of people that I know, and even aside from that, I'm sure that some folks I know will at least find some entertainment from this. But welcome to the chat, and enjoy yourself. Trying to let me be questionable at games get you down any? Yeah, I mean, can they not tell that, like, you're not a total goth or anything? Or have they just not seen the other Jean at this point? I have one person in my friends list who has some pretty busted support, but I'm mostly trying to use the available NPC supports where possible. Just for a change, because I actually usually do use the I usually do use stronger support from randoms and friends. Well, no, you don't have Merlin or unfortunately Waver, who is like the character I want the most. But on the other hand, Ku Alter is pretty ridiculous all by himself. Oh, I would definitely appreciate it. I will go ahead and pop up my thing in just a second after I'm finished with this cutscene. Maybe I actually should be running these auto, because that would stop me from letting these go slower. Yeah, we gotta take this carefully, and we have no idea what's going on, so don't charge into anything too much, guys. Don't be too foolish. Well, Doctor, we already know that this one is a ruler, so we can make some guesses to start with. Actually, we kind of can't, but I don't know that we know that in terms of story. And sadly, we don't have our radar system yet here. You just call her a nerd if you want to. I've seen the faces she makes. She's a total nerd. Like the... As if I'm not, but... Takes one to judge somebody as one, I guess. Alright, so... Yeah, I don't know how much has been gone into about not needing sleep for the servants, but... Yeah... Well, we've kind of established that the player character can sleep standing up, so I think we're fine there. Don't be so surprised. That's all I'm trying to say. Gathering my words is a pain. Yep. I mean, kind of. There's like some things in terms of plot that it's actually a tough question. I may have to come back to that in a few minutes or 20. But I am trying to pin down this explanation here that aside from everything else that's being explained here about Jean being like, well, I'm new to this and everything, there's also sort of this matter that more recent figures tend to be weaker as servants because there's more known about them in terms of like the story thing. It is, well, it's played with a little bit, we'll say that. It's not necessarily the most consistent plot arc, but we'll probably have to... I'd say if anybody here is like gonna get too deep into it, then that will definitely be a thing that we talk about. Somebody remember that so that way I can talk about why Nikola Tesla is so busted when he's from like not very long ago. How far did I get in the story on my main? I just started Shimosa recently, and that also means I've done the 2 previous Remnant arcs. I haven't touched Salem yet. I've been doing all of Epic of Remnant in order, even though that's not necessary to. And I've been defocusing from the story stuff because of the recent event. I probably should just, like, multitask those. I've been grinding the event off and on, yeah. I usually try to not skip. Don't skip. That's a reflex. I'm sorry. I usually try to grind out blocks of 10 floors at a time or so. I still need to do another couple of sets today. I just finished 40. So I'm getting there on that. Yeah, I know it's not necessarily impressive. And hello there. There's been an update for it rolling over past 6 p.m., which is why I would prefer to try and stream this early-ish in the morning. You can say you're gonna show me that you exist, game. Alright, let's get our reward here and get more of the title screen music. The music in this game is usually pretty good. I will say that, although some bits are a little short. Alright, so where's our request button? Here it is. No, that's search. My bad. I forgot how that worked. 542 493 129. Search. That'll be you. This we'll just scroll through your stuff just as a little confirmation here, I guess. Got quite a setup going here. That'll actually come in handy as a thing, even if it's not that high level, but that might be even better than Q Alter for later parts of the story if I remember how that hashes out. Alright, well, I guess we can go ahead and add more people here. 741, 176, 710. Okay. And it looks like you just started out here, right? Or not quite, but you've got a couple of... You're just not deep in the story is what it is. You've been at this long enough to get an interesting set here. And nice, we got Ryder Kintoki, who is one of the characters I was mentioning earlier. He is considered basically to be one of the strongest event characters available. So let's go ahead and throw that out there. And anyone here who is like getting into this is, or otherwise has played the game for a while, is free to send me friend codes for this and I will add you on there. If anyone like starts out this game as a result of that and, you know, I know you or something, shoot me a DM on Discord and I will add you on my main, I suppose. Yeah, also, I have not gotten around to setting up my support list, like, at all, because I don't have much at this point. Speaking of which, we have something that we can go ahead and grab ourselves an extra character. We got quite a list here of options. Yeah, like I said, I just started this off, like, yesterday on this account anyway. So this list, there's like 50 available choices, I think, right now. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing, is that Herc really is, like, considered one of the better options. Unfortunately, I'd be sitting on him for a while to get him to Bond level 10. Yeah, that's not a bad choice, because she's pretty good. I'm kind of actually leaning towards an archer, because I don't have one. Although if I pick up India Alter, that's just like, oh look, I'm playing the same characters again. There are, however, a lot of options all across the board in terms of quality. Tomboy is someone I haven't used yet. I actually just got her recently on my main, so I should try giving her some stuff. I actually thought about picking up Edison, but I don't really know that that's going to be necessary. A big reason that I'd be picking him up is because he can really, if I can get his meter full on turn 1 against the final boss of the first arc, I can just fuck him up pretty badly. Yeah, we're gonna get a chance to see most of these characters pretty readily. The problem is that I am time limited on when I can pick someone, otherwise I would literally just hold on to this until later. But as it stands, I think I'm going to, again, continue to be like, oh boy, I have no idea what I'm doing with this. Pick the hottest one. That's actually kind of hard. Why are you like this? Yeah, you see, I was very lucky on my main in that I actually had most of who I wanted in the first place, so it was a pretty simple choice for me. But we'll give a look to a lot of these. A big thing is that a lot of the later characters are good. Okay, so there's gonna be something up to. There's gonna be something coming up for Tristan and for Gawain and for Lancelot. That makes things a little bit less painful. But one big thing is that there are some characters we should probably be avoiding, is what I'm trying to get around to. Mostly characters who show up late in the story. Like Yagyu Munenori is really, really strong, but we're not gonna be able to get him too far along until much later. So choosing him for a beginner is not necessarily the best choice, because I don't have it in me to stream like 11 hours a day to rush down getting through Shimosa in like a month. Otherwise, though, he's a fantastic character, and if you have access to the materials, you should pick him. Emiya Alter is another character who is kind of stonewalled behind stuff. Archer of Inferno / Tomoe Gozen is kind of locked behind some things here. Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear about that. I mean, I could literally just be like, I want the Catman, but I am going to go back up here. Yeah. Yeah, I think I am actually just going to give Emiya Alter a shot here. I have literally no archers is the problem, so that's why I'm currently leaning towards an archer. And then again, I just started out very early on. Yeah, I got I got Julius Caesar at NP2 at like the very beginning of the game, so I'm okay for now on that one. But, you know, again, remember, this is me on like literally day 2 of the account. So, yeah. All right. I'm not going to be able to get this guy to the maximum potential that he can be at. Like, he'll probably be stonewalled at level 60, but that's still pretty good. Oh god, that's some lucky on that. That's unfortunate, but he's pretty solid. He's actually quite legitimate. We're gonna see a lot of work put in from him on this playthrough. Let's go ahead and we'll go for it. I know that there are better options, but I'm gonna do this. I like Emiya Alter a lot. He's pretty high in my list. Let's go ahead and grab that from our present box and get ourselves a little bit of a cutscene. He's gonna talk at us. He's just a JoJo character. He's just Enrico Pucci. Alright, so we can get a bit of a look at what Emiya Alter's got for him. For a start, he's got decent stats for what he is. His first skill increases defense for 5 turns and 3 hits only, which is very surprising. Oh, is he partially locked behind chains? That's going to be a bit of a pain, but we'll work this out. We'll work this out. Like, again, I do expect to be like rotating most of my lineup pretty heavily, so meh. So, although this defense debuff doesn't last very long, it's pretty solid if I remember correctly. Down here, his projection ability is 1 turn and boosts to all 3 card types, which is, like, not quite the same as an attack boost, I guess. And his third skill, again, lasts for a disgustingly short length of time, but it is very strong. Emiya Alter's big thing is that he can destroy single targets very, very well. He's basically he's kind of a more high budget version of Billy the Kid or Robin Hood in a lot of ways. Also he's got this interesting thing going on where the word blade is scratched out of his unlimited blade works because his unlimited lost works instead. And abilities, he gets a crit strength buff and a small amount of debuff resistance, which is pretty handy. Also, yeah, I have to bring this up because it's rather infamous. The art on this was changed a little bit from the Japanese version. I actually kind of prefer this because it looks more like regular Emiya. So, you know, even setting aside any of the other complications that might make people angry or whatever, I just think it works better. Let's get ourselves back in the, yeah, there you go. We're going to remove that, and we're going to put this guy up at the front. Actually, what level is Julius sitting at? He's a level 7. I think we'll be okay with him. I think. This might end up not being the most ideal party that I've ever had, but we're gonna try it for this. And see what's going on in the story. Alright, well, We seem to be okay with that, but... Sounds about right. Yep. That's certainly a thing. Alright, what's... Let's see. That's very true, that's very true. Unfortunately, we're getting a codec call over here. Oh, that's, that could be a little rough. Oh. Well, hopefully we at least have a little bit to, Oh, ruh-roh. As we decide to run into a burning town. Well, it seems that the fire has ended already. Alright, we're gonna be fighting some more skeletons, right? Yep. We got skeletons, and as we've said before, skeletons are always in robes in cutscenes until they just take them off in the middle of battle. You know what? Okay. Not the strangest thing ever. I don't remember if I explained the overcharge mechanic last time, but I probably did. Alright. This hand is sub-ideal. There is a little bit of RNG involved in this game, as I've no doubt mentioned before. Man, look at him jump. He's got some strong legs. Alright. Next up, this is where we're going to start getting a mix of enemies here. Yes, we are. Alright. I at least called that one. Cool. Go ahead and use those quick cards. They're slightly buffed, but not by enough to get rid of that guy entirely. Oh, these fellas are zombies as opposed to skeletons, so they've got poisoning abilities for zombie reasons. Zombie reasons, yeah, there you go. Alright. We can get, like, +3 crit things. That's something, at least. Which is gonna be nice, because we've got a fella back here with a ton of health on him. Maybe I should remember to use these abilities. I haven't been showing them off for any of the new characters yet. Caesar has Tactics B, which will buff all of our characters' NP strength for 1 turn. Pretty nice. I'll accept that. That's a pretty good support ability here. John has True Name Revelation, which will only work on servants, but it reduces their NP strength quite massively. So it basically neutralizes a threat at a very specific time. And also Revelation, which gives us some free crits every turn. And we are going to definitely put that to use. Unfortunately, we're not in a great position in terms of damage dealing here. We'll pull this off, though. I think you've got this one, buddy. Oh, quite close, though. Yeah, let's do things this way, I guess, because Again, not really the greatest hand we've been dealt, but we'll deal. It's a very simple battle. We basically have it over and done here. But I'm not gonna demonstrate this ability unless we don't manage to defeat this thing in these 2 attacks because of a reason we didn't get to see, so that's just as well. If it comes up, I will definitely explain it in more depth, but again, we gotta wait for it to come up then. So, it'll be a little bit. Alright, nice shortcut scene there. And get us back to the map here. Gonna take a moment. Alright. So what we've got here is case with more of these guys, I see. Alright, so we'll swap you out for... So we'll just straight up remove him for the moment. This... I don't have enough cost points to field our new guy at the same time yet. But we'll go ahead and we will do this. Yeah, I remember how this works. It's just a matter of like juggling the rest of this stuff. And we will throw... We'll throw Leonidas, I forgot his name for a second there, at the back of the party just to gain a couple more bond points in the off. Oh yeah, I gotta remember to throw some experience on him real quick. Give me a second to see what I've got on hand. That'll help us out a little bit. I'm sitting over here doing this in kind of a funky mentality, I guess. We'll just throw all of our cheap stuff here. I haven't been burning these diligently. Oh, right, I have this, so I can give him a nice boost. He's going to be level 13 without using any other class's cards. Which at some point I am going to remember to just burn those for the extra QP. When you look at those stats, that's pretty good. He's probably our strongest right now. Yeah, it's not very useful to give them cards from the other classes because it doesn't give much of anything at all. I don't remember if I explained that last time or not, but either way, again, you know, I appreciate anybody filling in the gaps for me because I'm not really great at explaining things in the moment. Oh, that's, well, at least we don't get to see that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves into another fight here. It's gonna probably be a wave or two of the just sword zombies and then a couple of dragons at the back. If I had to guess how this is gonna hash out. And I kind of do have to guess because I don't remember what the enemy layouts look like this early in the game. Especially not for the story quests. Okay, things are a little different from what I thought. But that's fine. Oh wow, he didn't get, didn't manage to instantly clear out that enemy. That's kind of surprising. Change our targets and do it this way. Again, remember to apply this at the beginning of the fight. Be smarter of me to... I'm kind of not used to... There's somebody here I'm not used to using. Alright. This should do decent damage this turn. That crit's gonna help a little bit. Oh yeah, see, it's down to 99. Alright. And yes, I definitely need to remember to do some level grinding for some of the characters, but I will probably be doing that off stream because honestly, how much do you guys want to see of that, right? Okay, let's keep charging up. Keep charging up our buddy's meter here. Yeah, that is absolutely a thing. And it would not be a bad idea for me to start harvesting mana prisms so that way I can get the monthly experience cards. Just to push things along a little bit there. I should have this. Yeah. Oh. If Kojiro is going to get double crits like that. Yeah. I think I demonstrated that those were there earlier. And that's about it. Yeah, I am going to be trying to save up for a couple of things that are upcoming for sure. So we probably won't see a ton of me just throwing 10 draws at random banners at the end of streams, which is what I had originally considered doing for a while, of like, hey, let me do this and try and build up a stock of characters. But I decided to not quite do that. Well, soon it's a couple of months off, but yes, there are definitely some characters coming out in the summer, that's for sure. There's some interesting stuff coming up soon, and I am actually considering rolling for some of it on my main, but I'm not 100% sure. Because there's not a ton that I want for at this juncture on that account. I mean, there's things that would be nice to have, like anything would be nice, really, but specific things that I need? I don't know about that. Again, I feel like I should show off my main at some point, but it'll be a while before I do that. It'll probably be for, like, special fights only, basically. Five. Ooh. 5. Let me see if I can do some math here. That, yeah, I think that's like their entire party coming in. Oh, right, Napoleon is upcoming. I forgot about that. Napoleon is pretty good, and he's got a cannon strapped to his arm, so I can't dislike that. Alright, fine, we'll back out. Or at least get to cover. Unfortunately, for the rest of the party, I have some bad news. It's not going to be a very interesting motive. Alright. What is our remaining... What are our remaining 2 class quests here? Oh, right. Defeat 15 enemies with the heaven attribute. So basically just hands, which means that I'm actually going to end up towards the end of the stream showing off just a one-off of the leveling quest. So we can get a look at that. Okay, all of our enemies here are berserkers, which means that it doesn't exactly matter what we bring in. So I'm coming at this with my strongest options, which I think will end up being like this. Do I have a better card than this? I'll take this one to give us a little bit of extra charge on the off chance that gets us anywhere. Unfortunately, I don't have like the super good initial charge craft essence cards. That's kind of a pain, but just have to make do. All right, incoming 5 members of their party. Oh, she's trying to... She's trying, but I don't know that this is coming off as being as impressive. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Stuff will... My overall supply of things will just get better as time goes. Alright. Yeah, right. I don't think she's interested, which you should know by now, but here we are. Yeah, I think just the main thing that makes me disappointed in terms of Essence having is the lack of kaleidoscope, but that's okay. We can live without it. It's just that we got to do things a little differently to make certain fights go faster. But on the other hand, I don't seem to be too concerned with that here, so meh. Yeah, we get it. She was... more complicated. Oh, he's getting the tail end of it. Yeah, that's seen that earlier. Yeah. Okay, we get it, Pokeminch. Let's get to the point already with, you know, the rest of dealing with this fight. Let's keep at this. Keep talking a lot. This is one of the longer cutscenes, actually. I'm surprised that this one is as lengthy of a conversation as it was, but we are almost there. Alright, now for the loading screen. I've mentioned before, but there are a lot of them in this game, which, you know, it's okay. I guess there's a lot of assets to dig through, right? Alright, so we've got Berserk Lancer to start with, also known as Vlad the Impaler. I believe we've seen somebody who had this guy on a support list earlier. We saw Vlad Extra in the ticket selection, so there is a Lancer version of him. It's just that everybody else is literally just their original version in this storyline. This guy is actually a separate dude. And 34,000 HP looks like a lot, but we should be able to get through that without too much pain. On the other hand, he just did that twice in this turn. That's kind of unfortunate on so many levels. You don't need him going that fast. Really don't. But also, we can do a lot of damage to him that way. And okay, he's putting a defense up buff on. That lasts long? I think it does actually last quite a while. It at least lasts more than one turn. So we'll go ahead and we will do that to him. Unfortunately, mechanically, it doesn't actually show off his actual true name, but what can you do? And we're going to hope that this doesn't end too badly. That is some very, very awful luck that we ended up with here. Alright. Well, that's a shame, but you know, it happens. He wasn't exactly going to be the strongest member of the party at the time. Do things this way. Alright, we're almost there. Almost. Unfortunately, that defense buff lasted just way too long, really. Any amount of time is too long. I clicked on the wrong skill. Let's throw up our defense buff and just keep hammering him the usual way. Nicely done, Emiya. He's already pulling his weight pretty heavily. I should definitely be giving him some levels. He's probably gonna be one of my main damage dealers for a while. Once I start getting rolling on that, at least up until he gets stonewalled on levels and doesn't become as useful. Well, then again, level 50 is still decent of a limitation. Yeah, see, there you go. They gave it away. See, there's a little bit of, well, ego among other things going on here. And also a lot of arguing. Yeah, we'll go with that. Alright, we take ourselves a brief moment. They give us enough time to recover. That's something, at least. Alright. So here we've got something a little different going on. I am not going to deal with the simply put, I am just not going to. I'm not going to play nice here, because this fight, I think, is pretty tough. Don't remember. But as we've got Carmilla as a major character here, still talking at us. And is using her actual class this time. So, we will absolutely be, we're going to not mess around is what I'm trying to say here, because the setup they've got going on is not a particularly good one. Alright, yeah, so she's at the front and she's got two wyverns in the back row here. As I said, sub-ideal, to say the least. However, she's got a lot less health, but also you'll notice that charge meter is extremely short. So, even without her having the charging ability that Dracula had, we are in quite a race here. Under ordinary circumstances, anyway. Get out of here. I forgot about that critical hit missing thing being a mechanic. Alright, there we go. Nice and simple. Again, didn't want what they were selling, because I knew that it wasn't going to be very good. We get ourselves a one of those little assassin statues. I think they're called class pieces in this, at least at that level. The gold ones are monuments, I remember that, but we haven't seen any of those. Perhaps understandably because of how level limited we are. So we're hearing something a little interesting here. But also they seem to have escaped. They didn't melt down, as it were. The way Artoria Alter did when we beat her a while ago. And it does feel like a while ago. I haven't streamed in over 24 hours. Alright, so let's do things this way. My friend, you are temporarily out of the gang. Push these two around like this, and we that out for that. 3 points. That is a 3 cost points off of our maximum. Again, that's not enough to... Oh no, it is enough to put that guy in the back. Cool. Again, I kind of want to use Caster Cucullin, even though I know he's not a great character. Doctor, please, I have no idea what you're going on about. So, and I don't think this other person knows either. Wow, this is something, that's for sure. Alright. Let's keep pushing here. Let's see what we're doing. See what we're up against. Something quite simple, I imagine. Not dealing with those two anymore, I don't think. No? Let me with... Yeah. That's right, it was all Rider enemies. I forgot already. That's kind of unfortunate. Again, do this correctly. Alright, you're only level 9. Can you take this guy out? Take this wyvern out in one combo there. Oh wow, he actually can. Nice crits. That's pretty impressive at that low of a level. I, again, need to give him some more work, but as I've made quite clear before, we will get to that. Alright. Back to it. This should do. Okay. Yeah, as I say, this is one of the downsides about this is that it does get a little bit repetitive, especially when we're seeing this many of literally the exact same enemy. We'll leave that one up for the moment, actually. Just because I think we're not really... That wasn't exactly a good hand to deal with it and start work on the back enemy without wasting a lot of damage. I'm at least attempting to maintain some degree of efficiency here. Although I will show this off now because this is like a sure kill this turn. We get to see Jean's Noble Phantasm for the first time. And it provides a lot of powerful defensive debuffs, including a full turn of invincibility for your entire party, but it stuns her is the problem. There's upgrades later on to remove that, but we're not going to get that on her as part of the storyline. And since we don't have her for ourselves, we can't get that on our own yet. Obviously. Very, very obviously. Well. You know, saying that, it would be interesting if you could upgrade the NPC characters in a way. Excuse me. Oop. What's going on here? Ah, bunch of things we won't hear about for another mission. These cliffhangers would probably be a lot more effective if we weren't pounding through this so heavily. Alright, so Riders and Spear class Lancers. Let's do things this way. Going for as much damage as possible. And should be about right, I think. Oh, hi! Someone new. Slightly unusual outfit. Oh, they know each other. Marie Antoinette. That's a bit of an odd character design for her, all considered. And she has no interest in hiding it. She's being a good person here. Wow, that's description. I'm sure that's helping a lot. That's here's a shovel. Dig yourself deeper. All right, let's go ahead and deal with this. We finally get to meet some new characters who are actually on our side. This is going to not be as bad as it seemed. A little strange, but not necessarily bad. And with the little strange is not well here. There is anyway. Yeah, going. Oh yeah, this. Getting a nice mixed front line here, which is actually probably ideal. Because then we can at least sort of have a chance to fight off multiple types of enemies a little better here. Fortunately, these wyverns really hurt, so we would really want to get rid of these chuckleheads as fast as possible. Oh, nice work there, Caesar. Alright. This time we've got just these wyvern enemies. That's fine. I think. So I'm assuming that that's what we get at the very end of this wave as well. Stop doing crits, guys. It's a little overbearing. Too much damage. I can't deal with this very well. Also, my frame rate did drop for a moment there. I am not quite sure what caused that. Get out of here. There we go. Last wave. Oh, that's a lot of health. As I say, less than ideal. But we can probably get through this without too heavy of an amount of loss. But apparently we're gonna lose him, so that's unfortunate. Go for defense buff. I realized that I forgot to use Revelation again because I am, as I say, very much not used to this at all. The character I get to use very much is going to be pretty big. It's going to help us out quite a bit. Alright. And here we go. That will again round out that mission nicely. Gain ourselves a level. And proceed. Fine. Quit your complaining. You weren't even in that fight, sir. Ooh, so we've got Mr. Mozart here. Symbol crash there. Not much else. Y'all get the hell out of here. Think. Did you even know what a phonograph? Oh, right. That's. And again with the grammar. That's, someone should definitely go back through and tidy that stuff up, because it does kind of bother me slightly. Again, they seem to not be very good of an evil group because they just arguing with each other. Are they having an "Are we the baddies" moment? Talia Dale. Someone I don't know a whole lot about in terms of history, you know, any of that stuff. Yeah, guys, there's no need to be arguing with each other here. In fact, that's just gonna make things a little bit harder on yourselves. Alright, show me the next quest here. Oh, our route has changed. Alright. Section 6. What are we facing? We're facing a lot of different classes. I assume it's going to be the 3 knight classes, basically. No, it's actually just sabers, lancers, and assassins. That's an odd combination. Excuse me. So we're going to look through here. We have 3 choices of guest servants now. So I am going to choose Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart to give him a little bit of a demonstration. Especially because the enemies here are primarily going to be... well, basically Marie Antoinette would not be a good choice is what I'm trying to get at here. Let's go ahead and equip Caster with Rejection. If I can just remember all of my words, put them all together, please. And I think this set will do us okay for the moment. But I wonder when we'll get proven wrong. I mean, we're certainly in a different location. That's close enough. Good enough. Leyline readings to the nearby forts. Yep. Oh, she's definitely very easily amused by it. And I'm pretty sure the sheep was what's going on here? Well, he seems like quite a fella. A lot of stuff going on in terms of his outfit. Oh, of course we're gonna find a fight as soon as we get over there. This might have been, excuse me, somewhat of a mistake. Alright, so what do we got going on with Amadeus here? We've got an ability that boosts all of our allies' arts cards. That's pretty nice. And an ability that decreases the NP strength of one enemy servant for 1 turn. Gotcha. He's definitely quite a support character. Go in this order. Alright, just to show also what his Requiem for Death does. Random chance to decrease attack and defense and inflict curse for all enemies. It's a little unreliable, but it can have a lot of effect, if I remember correctly. And the rest of his build is pretty good support-wise, so not to be complained about, really. Alright, so we'll give Mozart a chance to charge up his meter a little bit. Maybe get some crits. Yeah, 5 points. That's decent. Alright, we do have a hand in the middle of this, which is pretty good. And they definitely chose the right class for that hand, since you definitely want to use the you want to use your assassins a lot in this area because of all the dragons. Turns out stabbing a dragon in the back is its major weakness. I don't know if any of you realized this, but maybe you'll gain something out of these streams. Nice work, buddy. Taking that hit, not as good. But what can you do? Only so much. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and keep buffing yourself. If you're going to go down in 1 turn from here, that is not even remotely a concern of mine. That's how we're doing it? Yeah. Alright, we'll go ahead and give our buddy that little buff there. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're really only taking out the one enemy in the middle of this turn. Although you didn't get hit by any of the statuses, so yeah, wow, that went pretty well. Alright, we are almost done with our weekly quests, and we didn't even really put a whole lot of effort into that. And we get a very small assassin experience card. So not a huge deal, but it is what it is, you know. I'm not going to come over here and complain too much. Alright, so we're in an area that is to be considered vaguely safe. I mean, it's been a huge mess, but... Excuse me. Alright, so we've heard about the class thing. Yeah, don't worry, we already know about this. I even explained this in a previous stream. Excuse me. Yep, we got that to deal with. Including one who's the final boss of this area. That's kind of unfortunate. Alright, I'm gonna take a brief moment here of intermission. Back in a few. Alright, I'm back, and I decided to do my freebie friend point draw while I was away, and you can see my results are a little bit unimpressive, but I did get a new character. We got Matahari, who is an assassin class servant, and she is generally like kind of considered to not be amazing, but she is surprisingly like she has a thin niche in terms of being a gimmick character to deal with one very specific thing. Which basically means that it's perfectly fine that I didn't pick up Edison from that draw ticket. The selection thing. Yeah. I apparently don't know how to use words properly, you guys. Isn't that great? So let's keep picking at this section and let's see what we've got here. Again, more of the same, so I think Mozart's going to be getting a bit of a workout here. Yeah, we get a little bit of this information just from the menu screen, but that's about it. Gotcha, so nobody really knows what's going on exactly with them. Of course we gotta pick this answer. There you go! There's the moment of the entire playthrough. Anybody who knows, like, any of the story of this knows about getting Marie Antoinette to say, "What's up, my homies?" Oh, that's so good. Thank you. And you know, that's why I will deal with the ridiculous amount of grammar errors and everything, because it's definitely clear that somebody on the localization team was having a good time with this. God. Oh boy. It sure is definitely a conversation that's happening. I'm at kind of a loss for words. I forgot that there was even more ridiculous to... It sure is just a pile-up of incredibly silly things. Oh, they certainly have a friendship going into it. Piano brain is a good phrase, too. Wow. I guess that that's something to consider. Yeah, that's basically approach here. We are kind of just a group of, you know, and it was stated that everybody is basically equal in terms of if they become servants, so none of the titles of royalty or a saint or anything like that should matter, right? Right? Whatever. Yep. It's they heard us. They heard us insulting Mozart. He's pretty easy to insult. Then again, I haven't used him a whole lot, so I don't remember what all he does. It's kind of unfortunate. See, this is actually a case where I really don't know a ton about the game that I'm dealing with. I try to approach these streams when I do them as, like, that I at least am able to explain a decent amount about the game that I'm playing. And in this case, I mean, I've got at least some knowledge that I can put forward, clearly. But I'm definitely lacking about how useful a lot of characters are. Do things this way. Give us that tiny bit extra meter. And I do mean tiny, because it's based on hit count, and as you can see, most Buster cards are only single hits. So that didn't get us much of anything. But every little bit helps, because Caesar charges pretty slow. And we don't have anything to start ourselves off with any bonus charge or not. Well, we got the one option for that, but otherwise we are a little lacking in that department. So we gotta do what we can in order to make things a little easier on ourselves. Granted, one way would involve leveling up to a point where I don't feel like I need to lean on doing that, but we'll get there in the end. Alright. Take out the big enemy in the back, the most health, and the short meter. It should be a one turn. Yeah, there you go. Nicely done, buddy. Nice work. Let's build up our crits for next turn. Well, distribution on that is okay. That's pretty decent. Give it to him. Fortunately, with my not having an archer out here, that is not going to be a very... still going to be a bit of a nut to crack here. The other hand, this is a job. And there we go. There's all of our weekly missions, and we gained a bond level for Asterios back there, which is nice, because that will get us towards some more rewards just in general. That's the main reason I've been keeping him in the back, is to help push things along in that area. Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, some is a little funky, to say the least. Hope so. Again, very similar in concept to... not Strange Fate, it's Fate Apocrypha, I think, where there were 2 sets of 7 on basically opposite sides in a battle. Okay, there you go. We've got Romani on our side to explain some shit for us. What a guy. Yeah, that's clearly going to be a bit of a pain. Yeah, so they, at least all inside of the storyline, they should all be gaining this attribute of a berserker, but they don't really gain it in terms of story play. So but I mean, that's probably okay for, again, the first, well, second the game. The first area was basically an extended tutorial. Let's not kid ourselves. And even this is a little bit of that, but not as much. Again, referring to it as a bug. My connection status seems to be eating it a little bit here, so I'd like to apologize to everybody for the quality suddenly just absolutely having a field day there. And what I was trying to say, I forgot. Excuse me, and I'm sorry about all the yawning. One of the reasons why I started streaming in the morning yesterday, and why I'm going to try and do more of that in the future, is because I've been falling asleep extremely early day lately. But this time, I'm still awake for now, so... yeah, we should definitely get on that, buddy. Yeah, he's got some decent tech on his side, at least as far as we can tell. So, we should be able to find out where our enemies are, and we can start fighting things back a little bit, because we've got quite a party on our side. Again, in terms of story. When it comes to actual gameplay, the effects are fairly minimized there. There we go, we've got 14 quartz fragments already, so we can get ourselves our bonus 2 for the week. That feels pretty nice. And here we are with the same loadout of enemies again. Or at least same set of classes. So... can we feed... Can we give Julius Caesar any more buffs here real quick? we don't have any all class or saber only. That's kind of unfortunate. So that makes me a little sad. Again, it would probably be a good idea for me to do a couple of quests to do some level grinding so I can show that off at least. In fact, let me go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to do one of these just as a one-off, just to demonstrate. Every other instance of these will be off stream. Going to Chaldea Gate here. Down to daily quests. Alright, Archer and Caster. That's not exactly an ideal combination for us, but I'll take what I can get at this point. So we want to go over here mostly and go look for somebody who's got a ruler class character in order to make things easiest on us. Because they will resist anything except for berserkers. So we'll go ahead and we'll take... I like that this person's name in the game is Lazy Weeb. That's worth a good chuckle. Or 7. Shame about my internet connection. Hey, can you stop that, please? Internet, like, just hold. Stop choking out. Above 1% dropped frames. That makes me unbelievably sad, because usually this internet connection is good. I don't know if, like, choking out the router or something. Alright, so this will give you a look at what we deal with in these quests. First of all, a really, really bad hand, and second of all, we have just the hand enemies. And we get 3 waves of 3, and they are of randomized classes from the 2 that are displayed on the icon, aside from the Sunday one, which is completely random, and also Berserker as the other option. Things this way. Yeah, it's perfectly fine if they target Sherlock, because it's much more durable than my party by a wide margin, even at levels that are comparable to the rest of my party. And that is a harsh sound effect that I did not notice was so bad before. Jeez! Jeez, my ears! Wow, that is intense. And hey, shout outs to Caesar being useless in this part. This fight, it might have been smarter for me to take different characters, but again, we basically just need that support Sherlock to get us home. He's even just completely out of here now. But that doesn't even have an effect on your bond gain or anything, so whatever. Alright, Mosh, take care of this. I don't know if you can muster that kind of damage in one turn. Nope, but if you could try it, something is. And again, with these unbelievably god-awful hands. The game doesn't want me to get anywhere with this, does it? Alright, well, he's out of here. Get Asterios to the front so we can at least get a couple of Buster cards to ever show up, I guess. Yep, enjoy that sound. That's my new favorite! Except the exact opposite of that. Alright, so we got a big one right in the back. Let's... Not that. He's out of here already. That's fine. All right. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm getting annoyed, not because of this. Obviously, this is basically going as I would expect it to. The problem is that my internet is absolutely choking itself out now, which means that I'm probably just going to end up quitting right after this, because that's seriously not good. I know that my internet is usually not amazing anyway, but this is so much worse than usual. Especially because I switched ISPs like a while back. By a while back, I mean several months. Alright. Go on. Take him out. And see, even that doesn't do a whole lot. It's more damage than the regular attacks, but it's still reasonably easy to deal with, even if you're not... You don't resist it, is what I'm trying to say. Alright. So here's the results we get from that. We get a nice chunk of bond points here. And more importantly, we get a ton of experience out of that, so... We got a lot of AP restored there. Our cost has gone up a little bit. Leveled up our skills, and also, perhaps most importantly, get a load of these. That is a lot of experience. It's pretty good. We're not going to request any help from Lazy Weeb over there. Although, again, great username. And sit here with the victory music going for a little bit. We get our 3 mana prisms. I didn't really explain this very well, but each of these quests has 4 levels, and you gain a number of mana prisms for the first clear of each quest. Each time it shows up, commensurate to the number of equal to its rank there. 1 for novice, 2 for intermediate, 3 for advanced, and 4 for expert, which we still can't even challenge. Alright, so let's go ahead and use the experience cards we've got here and get a couple of our characters up in level a little bit. And then we're gonna head off for the evening. I will try to be back tomorrow or Thursday, barring that, with either more of this or with a different game entirely. I have not decided. I am obviously going to keep it playing this on stream off and on, but I will definitely be switching it out with some other games as well, just to keep things a little bit fresh and stop people getting too bored of this, because this has a very long campaign, especially with how long I take in the cutscenes. And oh my god, I'm getting up to like over 8,000 drop frames. That is disgusting. I'm not even sure if you guys have been able to make out anything of these last several minutes. I don't know what's going on with my internet, and I don't like it. But until next time, I will see all of you later. Have a good one. Better than my internet connection, at least. Later.